Wow, an unverified, no evidence given, text-based leak for Crash Bandicoot came up on the most trustworthy site ever, 4chan! Is it legit? Zippy zappy, yowie wowie! Wow! What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a different kind of video. Okay, if you could not tell, I did not want to make this video. When I saw this leak pop up, I just ignored it and wanted to just die.
Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up and...
But then, my DMs exploded, comments were asked on many videos, and I was pinged exactly 1,267 times on Twitter. Okay, maybe not that much, but you get my point. I woke up this morning and saw that it was not just posted on Twitter, but now on Reddit, and then the straw that broke my Canadian moose back was when Games Radar made an article and cited this 4chan leak as a source. So I decided to take this opportunity to look at this text leak and leverage another type of video to kind of show how the leak was compiled and how literally 75% of what they say was something that myself and the Crash and Spyro community have been talking about for months. So in a sense, I am going to take a different video that I had scripted with this video to make something that I hope you all find entertaining. So before we start, let's read the leak in its entirety. The mask in the video, "It's time to play," and that Crash Bandicoot render in the bus posters come from the new game coming in 2020. The game, which was initially known as Crash 8, bears the title of Crash Bandicoot Worlds. The game will introduce 3 new masks: the Lunar Mask, the Sun Mask, and the Eclipse Mask. Crash will travel around the planet Earth in semi-open world, similar to Mario 3D World. There will be new enemies such as a hybrid cat frog, a rhino, a wombat, and a rapper monkey. The game is developed by Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions, and since October have started showing it behind closed doors. The announcement will be in December 2019. Oh, and to make this apparently more legit, we got concept art for said rapper monkey, and to be honest, it just looks like a cross between Rillaroo and Limp Bizkit. So, from the top, the mask in the video, "It's time to play," and that Crash Bandicoot render on the bus posters come from the new game coming in 2020. So, we already assumed that it was going to be Crash Bandicoot over Spyro in 2020. We all figured it out when we saw that Activision has been ping-ponging the franchises since the announcement in 2016 and the release in 2017. Now, it has not been enough time for Toys for Bob to make a brand new Spyro game from the ground up. And we have been wondering what Vicarious Visions has been doing. We haven't seen anything from them leading a project since the Insane trilogy. So, the community has come to assume that the next Crash game would be in 2020. The mask being from the new game? Well, we already talked about this weeks ago, so yeah, that's already assumed. The Crash render being the new Crash? I mean, it's possible, but it also could simply be used for promo material and not necessarily an in-game new render. But if it is a true new render, then guess what? The community has already pointed this theory out days ago. The game, which was initially known as Crash 8, bears the title of Crash Bandicoot Worlds. The game will introduce 3 new masks: the Lunar Mask, the Sun Mask, and the Eclipse Mask. I'm gonna get back to you about that title, cause it's pretty funny. So, we already had pointed out that the mask from the commercial had the lunar cycles on the seemingly female headdress. I had commissioned a friend of mine to make a recreation of said mask, and here it is. Her Twitter is in the description below. But this concept of the other masks was already kinda extrapolated. I mean, think about it. Aku Aku, a good mask. Uka Uka, a bad mask. They are opposites. So, if there is a moon mask, then there would be some assumption that there would also be a sun mask too. Again, something easy that could be assumed or made up. Crash will travel around planet Earth in a semi-open world similar to Mario 3D World. Again, a very generalized statement. It's so broad that if they do show off anything Crash related, which is platforming, they can try to claim that they had victory of some sort by claiming a generalized game type. Now, I believe that I found a hole in this theory in the next batch of text, but we'll get to that in a second. The game is developed by Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions, and since October have started showing it behind closed doors. The announcement will be in December 2019. Yes, Again, we knew this. Back in August, we saw the accidental leak of concept art for the new Crash Bandicoot that went public from Toys for Bob. Activision owns many studios that all collaborate with each other. The main heads of all things Crash and Spyro has been Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions, and Beanox. They interact and help each other out when it comes to these games. So, yes, that was already assumed and educationally guessed information. It would be like me saying, the next Sonic game will have Sega involved, or the next Mario game will likely have involvement from Nintendo. Who would have thought? Then the announcement being in December of 2019. Good golly gee, how could have anyone come up with that? It couldn't possibly be that both of the current Crash games under the Activision banner were both announced in previous December shows, and that Activision typically runs 5 to 7 month promotions for all their games, which would make the release date to be June 2020, which conveniently matches with the fact that the Crash Insane trilogy, its ports, Future Tense DLC, and even Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled all fell on the same release month of June, which makes December exactly 6 months from its announcement for promotions. It couldn't be that, could it? What obsessive YouTuber would track that info? However, the extremely convincing evidence doesn't stop there. There will be new enemies such as a hybrid cat frog, a rhino, a wombat, and a rapper monkey. With an image of said rapper monkey, a parent wombat, and even the concept art logo for the new game. Wow, that's a whole lot of evidence, Batman. It's gotta be real, right? Sure, except it's not. The apparent wombat that's being used, this was a concept art of Willy the Wombat. Who's Willy the Wombat? He was the original iteration of Crash Bandicoot. In fact, this exact piece of concept art was made by Charles Zambilis. I hope I'm saying his name right. I apologize if I'm not. And this exact image can be found on the Crash Wiki page. Then we got this logo. Wowzers, it looks legit, right? And guess what? It kind of actually is, because during development, the original name of Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex was, can you guess? Crash Bandicoot Worlds. And this was one of the concept art pieces for the logo. That in itself should have debunked this whole leak, but I wanted to go overkill to make sure my point is made. Also, the dude bro monkey, literally anyone could have drawn that. Now, there was another image floating around that people started sending to me saying that it was allegedly a leaked image of the end of the trailer that would be coming soon. But as soon as I found the original and saw the watermark in the bottom right corner, I knew who this was. Magaska is a fantastic artist that makes Crash fan art that likes to make high quality concept images from rumors or data mines. I've commissioned and used his art in previous videos, and he is an overall awesome dude. His Twitter is in the description below as well. But ultimately, though well done, this image is fake too. But again, it looks great. Now, am I here to crush dreams and say, no new Crash game coming in 2020? No. In fact, I'm saying the exact opposite. I do 100% believe that a Crash game is coming in 2020 and likely will be announced in December. There is so much public evidence pointing towards it, and that's what the point of this debunking video was about. This person just looked at patterns that the Crash and Spyro communities have put together and then tossed in some predictions and generalized statements so that if they were true, they could stand there and pound their chest like they knew what they were talking about all along, and if there were any changes made to the contrary to the baloney that they said, they could just say, hey, I had old info, but the majority of what I said was right. Not to mention, it was put on 4chan. Come on now. However, you're going to want to stay tuned for tomorrow's video, because as I was finishing this one off, actual information from actual reputable sources popped up on Twitter talking about the next Crash game. I can't wait to share my thoughts on it with you guys soon. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to make sure that you catch it when it goes live. So, there you have it. Evidence of Crash coming in 2020, by debunking an alleged leak of Crash coming in 2020. That's what I call irony. A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.